Hi friends, Robert here for Diverse Opals. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today I want to talk about matrix. Now matrix opal comes in a few different forms, and what we're looking at here is actually a piece of matrix from Andamooka. This is in fact a treated matrix, and before it actually came to this stage, and it's actually quite pretty what comes from matrix opal. There's a couple of bands here, and that's why you've got these different layers of colour. But prior to it actually coming to this, and of course it's been cut and polished along the way, this piece would have started out as something like this. Now, it doesn't look particularly appealing, but this is generally how matrix opal looks. It has a high water content, and by wetting it we can actually see a better pattern and better colour, but still, if we want to take advantage of the pattern and colour that is in fact present in this particular piece, we have to go through a stage of carbonising, and that is with the use of sugar and sulfuric acid. Today we're not doing that. I want to take you to another place, and that is with natural occurring matrix. And we have quite a sizable piece here of honey matrix, and this has come from Andamooka. As I said, there are other fields that produce matrix. Boulder produces matrix, but this is from Andamooka, and this is actually a honey matrix. And this is not the piece that we're actually cutting. We're getting to that, but I just thought I'd show you something on a larger scale that may look a little bit more impressive, so you can get a bit of an idea of what honey matrix looks like. What we'll be doing today is we're going to be working on this piece, because it actually doesn't show a great deal at the present. There is a hint of what is to come around the sides of this piece. Obviously we have some covering on the top that's hiding the pattern and the colour, and there will be no treatment. This will be cut and polished, and that will be it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go through the processes that we would normally go through with cutting a solid opal, but we're doing this with the matrix. So I'm hoping that something nice will come out of this, because it actually shows a lot of potential. So we're going to find out together how this turns out. Obviously the intent is to get down to a consistent area of colour. You know, we have these little holes here, little areas of dirt or residual stone that still exists. We can see from the side that it doesn't seem to come through to the side, which gives us hope that these hopefully will clear up. So we'll keep grinding. Well, I finished on the grinder, and I mean you can see some beautiful pattern, some beautiful colour here. You can probably see some quite rough marks in the surface of the stone. I actually had to use the edge of the grinding wheel to take out some more of the dirt, because I was a little bit afraid that if I kept chasing it with the flat part of the wheel, I'd end up going through the actual colour and into the actual base rock. So it's changed a little bit. It's sort of become a little bit darker through here. We've still got a bit of lightness over here, and that's probably due to the fact that it's a bit thicker. But what we're going to do today is we're going to go to wet, soft diamond wheels. I normally like to dry sand, but today I'm actually thinking I'm going to use wet, soft diamond wheels. So we'll go to our first wheel, which will be a 140, and we'll just iron out all of the rough ridges that are actually been left by this hard diamond wheel. Okay, we've gone from the 140, we're now on the 600, and this will just be the next stage of progress from working our way to the final result. There seem to be some fine fractures appearing in this stone, which is a bit unfortunate. Honey matrix is prone to doing this, little fractures here. It's a bit of hit and miss, but we'll keep going with this and finish the process and see how it looks. We finished with the 600 soft diamond wheel. I was considering keeping this as a specimen, but I'm thinking now I might as well go to the trouble of actually preparing this as a stone. So that means that I'm now on my saw, and I'm going to cut this off of here, cut this off of here, cut this off of here, cleaning it up and preparing it for a stone. So we might just go back over some of the processes just to clean up around the edge, maybe a hard diamond wheel, but we'll saw this up now and just prepare this for a stone. I've cleaned up the obvious areas of how this should look as a shape, and I'm in a bit of a dilemma about the colour, because to keep this colour, this end and this end, means that I've got to cut some sort of a convex, or some sort of a convex cut, and then be able to grind it after, or I just decide to cut through here like this. So the colour is about the same both ends, so I'm just wondering which way to go, and I'm thinking I might have to cut this through here like this. I don't think it's really worthwhile going to all the trouble of cutting this out of here, so we'll just sacrifice this little bit here to get a straight cut, and then to be able to bring it into a manageable stone. Yes, the back of the stone's not particularly healthy. You can see a number of fractures here. This may affect the outcome of the stone, but we'll continue on and see what comes out. I just need to take this back down. It's still a little bit too thick, so we'll take some more of this to thin it down. So we're getting towards the sort of thickness that I'm looking for. I'm probably going to have to do the rest of the thinning down on the grinder, and to try and bring it into a uniform thickness. The top not being flat is a bit of a challenge. We try to look for a uniform thickness that goes around the stone. So I will go back to the grinder now and just start to reshape this. I finished with the 1200 soft diamond wheel, and you can see the reflection of the light actually in the stone, which is good, which means that if you've done these stages right and you've got rid of all of your scratches, the polishing stage shouldn't take very long at all. So here I am on my Gem Master polishing machine, and I'm going to be using O-pol polishing compound. Because I'm going to be getting into a little groove here in the stone, I'm going to be using the edge of my leather wheel, and so I've got to make sure that this is wet enough, but also that there is enough polishing media on here, because if you try to do this without either of those, you're going to risk burning your stone or even generating enough heat to crack it. So as I said, it's just a matter of having enough water, having enough polishing compound, and not a lot of pressure, because that pressure once again can cause problems. So I'm happy with the way that's looking at the present, and so we can concentrate on the areas now that are convex, and as I said, it's just a matter of making sure that all these stages have been done properly to be able to achieve a final result. Make sure you've got a good grip of the stone, because sometimes with pressure, and if the buff starts to dry out, the stone can in fact leave your hands. Well, we finished with the piece of matrix, and as a result, polish, shape, I'm quite happy with that. The pattern is very beautiful. I actually love that ribbon pattern that exists in some matrices. Lovely combination of colours, but of course the letdown is this fracture that runs through the piece. Unfortunately, this can happen with honey matrix, and it's happened today. And that was part of the reasoning behind wanting to use wet, soft diamond wheels, hoping that this may reduce the risk of this happening, because when dry sanding, when I do dry sanding, it actually generates heat. So it hasn't completely stopped it or prevented it from happening, but it may have been a lot worse if I had have dry sanded. So this is the outcome. I hope you've learned something from this tutorial, and we'll see you next time. I'm Robert for Diverse Opals. Thank you for watching.